One. Hello, everyone. This is Sam the Fight Man coming to you live from Columbus, Ohio. And again, we're starting our three-part series about the Manny Pacquiao Floyd Mayweather fight. And about a week ago, I did an interview with Carl the Heat Hegman from Houston, Texas. And ever since then, the video has taken off a little bit, and some people who have watched it have made comments about it. So I thought I'd put them on online with us over here and do a video. So today I have my friend, very good friend, back from 1992, 93, Farzan, who I've known for a lot of years. He's my man, and he has a prediction on the fight, and he has his own comments about it. So Farzan, why don't you just tell us a little bit of background about you and your experience with boxing as a fan. I know you're not a fighter, but as a fan, tell us how you see this fight coming out.
Hey, brother, how you doing? It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been great.
It's awesome to talk to you about this fight. About my background, I was born in Pakistan, and I've lived in America since 1985. Mm-hmm. Now, when you're in Pakistan, born in the 60s, the way I was, you learn to love three things. You learn to love God, you learn to love Muhammad, and you learn to love Muhammad Ali.
Yes, sir.
That's the way it was.
Yeah.
When Muhammad Ali used to fight, it used to be a national holiday in Pakistan. Schools used to be out. I remember as a kid, we used to walk down the street and all the shopkeepers would put their TVs out. Pakistan was a poor country back then. It's a lot better now, but back then, a lot of people didn't have TVs in their households. Mm-hmm. So all the shopkeepers would put their TVs out on the sidewalk, and you'd have hundreds of thousands of people on the streets just sitting there. We'd have special prayers for Muhammad Ali. So, you know, I grew up loving boxing.
Yeah.
I grew up loving Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
I love the fight game. It's amazing. It's awesome. I love to see a fight. I love to watch the guys in the ring make their moves. To me, it's science. It's technique.
Yeah.
I can enjoy a draw as much as I can enjoy a victory if it's done the right way.
Yeah. It's called a sweet science for a reason.
I hear you. It's called a sweet science for a reason. It's called sweet science for a reason. People who just, MMA is great. I love MMA too, but it's a totally different kind of sport. My own background with fighting, as a much younger man, I used to do martial arts. I used to do karate, Shotokan karate, and I used to fight in open weight, full contact fights.
Yeah, that's right. I remember you telling me that.
I had a lot of fun doing that.
Yeah.
Obviously not at a very high level, just my level, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So anyway, I've been watching boxing for a long time. What I do is when I watch different fighters, I actually make notes. I write down what I see in them, and it's not just the physicality. I look at their psyche. Mm-hmm. Look at their attitude, I look at their eyes, look at their facial expressions. And so let me start first with Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah.
I don't know the man. I hope someday I have an opportunity to meet the man. That'll probably not happen. But looking at the fights, watching him in the ring, watching him with people, I get the impression that this is a very decent man. Mm-hmm. I get the and he's a tough by far. I mean, we are talking about a macho man without a doubt. This guy is the real deal, okay? Mm-hmm. He's a man. He knows how to fight. He can take a punch. He can give a punch. He can mix it up. He can back off. He's got technique. He's got speed. He's got heart, and he's got guts. He's got it all. He's the total package. Mm-hmm. Now let's talk about Floyd Mayweather Jr. Now again, I don't know the guy. We can only judge by what we see, and by what we see, there's nothing about him that I like. He's a bum. He's got no respect for people. He's got no respect for women. He's got no respect for society. I got no respect for a man like that. But when he is in the ring, he's working. That's business. That's his office. He's behind a desk right there, just like I'm behind a desk right now. He's at work. Mm-hmm. When I look at Floyd Mayweather in the ring, when I look at the way his eyebrows, the way he watches his opponents, the way he moves back when he has to, the way he jumps back, he's got that double skip back thing that he does. Mm-hmm. This guy is all business. He does not get emotional. Now that can be good and that can be bad, but Floyd Mayweather has so much talent, natural, raw talent, And it's almost like he's a different person when he's a ring than when he's outside the ring. When he's outside the ring, he's just a bum. He's a jerk. When he's inside the ring, I think he is the most professional boxer out there today.
Yeah.
Simply based on a couple of things. Number one, when he's in there, he's all business. Number two, he's not going to take it personal. So if he has to, he's going to move back. If he has to, he's going to back off and then come back. I'd have to give the edge to Floyd Mayweather.
You give Floyd to Mayweather.
Yes.
Okay, and why do you give that to him? I mean, in terms of, look, I've heard people tell me size. I've heard people tell me speed, but it comes down to styles. What style differentiation do you see that would give Floyd Mayweather the victory?
I think what would give Floyd Mayweather the victory over Manny Pacquiao is that I believe he's just a little bit faster, and I believe he's just a little bit more talented. And if he can keep his cool, now here's the key. Manny's got the punching power. If Manny gets a couple of good runs on the jaw, I don't think Manny can hurt him in the body much. If he can get a couple of good runs on the jaw, if he can get a couple of good runs on the head, if he can get one of those punches that just knocks a man off, then Floyd is out. That's a different story. I really think that Floyd is just too smart a man. He's too business. He's too business-like to get caught. So you will see Manny chasing Floyd. That is my prediction.
Okay.
Manny's a man. He's going to go in. He's a macho man. He's going to go in. He's going to mix it up. And he's got the talent and he's got the speed, but I think Floyd's got just a little bit more speed and just a little bit more talent. That's all. Okay. I don't see any fault in Manny Pacquiao.
Okay.
I don't see any fault in Manny Pacquiao. I think he's a great, great fighter. Just the fact that he has had 5 losses, he's come back. Just the fact that he has shown how tough he is tells me he is a hell of a fighter.
Yeah.
But I got to give the other guy the edge because I think he's just got a little bit more natural talent and he's got a little bit more speed.
Okay. Well, let me tell you how I see the fight going. I want this on record.
On record.
Because I just talked to a friend of mine on the telephone, and I don't want no excuses after Saturday night. Listen, here's exactly how this fight's going to go. The first 3 or 4 rounds, Mayweather's predicting that he's going to come out very fast, very hard, look for good, solid punches. I don't see that happening. I see him very apprehensive in the first opening rounds.
I agree. I agree with you on that.
Okay. Now, what will happen is by round 5, by round 6, Mayweather will pick up the pace. He'll feel more comfortable.
I'm still with you.
Okay. Now, what I've heard and what I've seen in training is this. Regarding Mayweather, Mayweather is training. He has a God-given speed and the talent, but he's training for power. Mayweather is training for power more than anything else. Manny Pacquiao, he has a habit of coming straight in, just forward. He will give Mayweather a lot of angles. He will not come straight ahead forward. He will give him a lot of angles. And this has been my fight prediction from the very beginning. He has to keep Mayweather backed up against the ropes, go to the body first, and then move to the head. Because everybody that fought Floyd Mayweather has always tried to knock him out. They enter that ring looking for the knockout, and it never happens. So the knockout has to come naturally, or it just won't come at all.
When you say naturally, you're saying he's going to have to wear him down. Just keep working the body, body, and go in and come back and get 1 or 2 in the head.
Sure.
But you're saying over a period of time, like accumulation of blows.
Accumulation of punches.
You've always been right about fights, but I got to tell you, man, I just don't see even a guy of Manny Pacquiao's potential, of Manny Pacquiao's talent.
The only person that
is going on and on Floyd Mayweather that much.
The only person that can beat Floyd Mayweather, there are 2 people that can beat Floyd Mayweather, which is Floyd Mayweather himself and Manny Pacquiao. Those are the only 2 people that can beat Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather will not allow himself to be defeated. So therefore, the only other person, process of elimination, is Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao is the only man that stands a 9 out of 10 chance of beating Floyd Mayweather. Now, just to make it clear and on the record, because I just talked to a friend of mine, I'm going to tell you and I'm going to tell everyone else who's watching this, you mark my words, the punches to look forward to, you got to be real careful tomorrow night. Here's what you have to look forward to. Mayweather, when he throws that right hand, Manny Pacquiao will counter with a left. That's a dangerous shot for Floyd Mayweather. If he gets tagged with that early, you're going to see a big turnaround. So remember, right hand by Floyd, left hand by Pacquiao.
I'm going to watch out for that right and left. So let's go back on what you just said. The only people who can beat Floyd Mayweather are Floyd Mayweather himself, meaning he makes a mistake, he does something stupid, and Manny Pacquiao. I'm with you there. But where I disagree with you is you think Manny's going to wear him down by going to the body and keep working the body. What you're saying is he's going to soften him up and then put him down. I don't see him doing that. I think Floyd Mayweather is too fast, too smart, too experienced a fighter to allow Manny to do that to him. I think any chance Manny has is going to be that mistake that Floyd makes that makes it possible for Manny to go in, a couple of great combos, couple of good combos, couple to the ribs, maybe one to the kidney, couple to the head. I believe that's the only way this guy goes down. I don't think that if Floyd Mayweather does not make a mistake, Manny Pacquiao is not going to take him down. My prediction for the fight is very simple. It's going to go the distance, and Floyd Mayweather is going to win by a decision.
Mayweather can win by a decision because it's his hometown. Because it's his hometown also. He's fighting in Las Vegas. Okay?
Hey, look, brother. Mayweather's going to win by a decision if they were fighting in Manila, Philippines.
No.
Because I think he's a better fighter.
No, I'll tell you something. Look, Zab Judah gave the blueprint on how to beat Floyd Mayweather. Zab Judah is no Manny Pacquiao.
Zab Judah is no Manny Pacquiao. Also,
he gave him trouble with that left hand. He's a southpaw. Manny Pacquiao's a southpaw. He hits harder. He's faster. He got those thick calves. He can jump in and he can jump out. It's a matter of, you don't beat Floyd Mayweather trying to outbox him. It's a matter of staying busy. Volume of punches and get out. Volume of punches.
I agree on both counts because you're not gonna punch out Mayweather. He's too good. As far as the volume of punches goes, that only works if Mayweather is gonna allow that to happen. I don't think Manny Pacquiao can do that to Floyd Mayweather. Now, Floyd Mayweather is not a young man. He's 38 years old. So in fight terms, his best days, I believe, are behind him.
Yeah.
He's still got the speed, though. I mean, he's in a couple of years, if he's still fighting at 40 years of age, a man like Amir Khan or one of the other upcoming fighters, not Chris Algieri, not that guy. That poor guy was just totally outclassed. But a guy like Amir Khan could come in and take out Floyd Mayweather because he would be much slower than he is right now. But I think right now he's still got the hand speed, the foot speed, and he's still got the eyes. I think the guy is still too sharp to let himself stand in front of someone and let that person work him. I don't think he's going to let him work him.
Well, let me put it like this. Madonna gave him trouble twice.
Yeah.
And I've seen, in my opinion anyhow, what I've noticed is I've seen Mayweather's legs start to slip a little bit, especially in the later rounds. He don't have that bounce like he once did.
He's 38.
He's 38. So that's why you have to outwork him, out-hustle him. You have to out-hustle him.
But Manny is no youngster either.
No, he's not. But I saw the weigh-in. Let me tell you what I saw. I saw the weigh-in not too long ago. Mayweather looks very tense, confident. He's much bigger than Pacquiao.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. But like I said, size doesn't mean anything. Styles make fights. Pacquiao seems very relaxed, extremely relaxed, almost playful, and almost somewhat bothersome to me that he's that relaxed. But maybe he sees something that a lot of us don't see.
He better have a microscope or a telescope in his eyes because we are talking about a guy who's a picture-perfect boxer in the ring, man.
Yeah. And he came a little dehydrated, too. Manny Pacquiao came a little dehydrated. Okay. So they'll come in, both of them will come in the 150s. By the time they fight tomorrow, they'll be in the 150s.
Yeah.
Okay. But I'm telling you, and my prediction, I'm telling everyone, whoever's going to see this thing or whatever, I'm telling you this, Manny Pacquiao will beat Floyd Mayweather based on volume of punches, coming in at angles. And remember the left hand. The left hand.
Are you predicting a KO?
I believe if anybody can get knocked out early, it's going to be Mayweather. But no, I'm not going to predict.
That's not my question. That can happen. That can happen in any fight.
Yeah.
That can happen to either one of them. You walk into a punch, you're down. That can happen. I'm saying, are you predicting a KO?
No.
You think it'll go the distance?
Yeah, I think it'll go the distance. The referee could play a major role in this. He tends to break up the fighters a lot very quickly, and that may be detrimental to Pacquiao.
Yeah.
But taking away all politics aside from the game, for this fight, I think that the only person that can beat Mayweather is Pacquiao, and the odds in Las Vegas have been shrinking for Floyd Mayweather. He's not the obvious favorite as before. Okay, now that could be a surge of Filipinos coming in, people who are, betting based on their emotions and not their brain in a sense. So it just depends. Even they took a poll at the weigh-in, and I believe 51% of the people believe that Pacquiao will win. 51%, and Mayweather's 49%.
Very close.
Yeah.
That's too close to call.
Yeah, but it shows you that the obvious favorite is going to be Pacquiao. He's entering into Floyd Mayweather's hometown, but the people on that night at the arena that night are going to be rooting for Manny Pacquiao, and the energy and the crowd energy it'll be a big factor for Manny Pacquiao, and it could play a factor also for the judges as well. Because see, there's more money involved in a rematch if Floyd Mayweather loses.
I don't see a rematch.
I do. If it's a good fight like anyone's anticipating, yeah, it very well could be a rematch. It could very well be a rematch.
In my opinion, that would be a mistake on both their parts. You got to also think about your long-term health.
Yeah.
They're not youngsters. They're not spring chickens anymore.
No.
I think it'd be a big mistake.
Yeah.
But people do all kinds of things.
Yeah.
The extra 20 or 40 or 50 million that they make from this fight.
You're talking about 200. No, not 50. You're talking about at least Floyd is making 180 guaranteed.
Floyd's got 80 guaranteed. Yeah, I was talking per person. I thought it was 50 million each.
No. He's making 180 million.
Floyd Mayweather's making 180 million for this fight.
Guaranteed.
Okay. How about Manny?
100. It's a 60-40 split. Okay, and that doesn't include sponsorships. That doesn't include pay-per-view. That doesn't include none of that stuff. That's just guaranteed.
Wow.
Yeah. So Floyd will enter over 200 million, and Manny will enter probably 140, 150 by the time it's over. So now
there are two ways of looking at that.
Yeah.
First way to look at that is, for him, it's not about the fight. For him, it's about the money.
Yeah.
Remember Oscar De La Hoya towards the end? He lost every fight with all the major guys. And I don't know if you remember that, but back 15 years ago, I started telling you that every time somebody beats the Golden Boy ends up promoting that guy. It happened with Felix Trinidad. It happened with Shane Mosley.
Yeah, you told me that.
Yeah. Every time somebody beat Mayweather, Pretty Boy, he started promoting them. In other words, somewhere along the way, the Pretty Boy lost his appetite, his love of the fight.
Yeah, he did.
And that love turned into love for the money.
Yeah.
I don't think Floyd Mayweather is there yet. I think for him it is about the money, but I don't believe that he is so much. I don't believe that he sees money and boxing as separate issues.
Mm-hmm.
I think that he is so much of a professional in that ring that he's going to think in terms of, I got to win this fight so I can make 180. And if there's a rematch or if there's yet another match after this, unless he retires, then he'll go for more. Or he'll get into some other kind of a thing. He's a smart businessman. What can you say? He's probably going to go and find other ways of making money, if not fighting.
Well, you brought up a good point. I just want to elaborate on that a little bit, but Manny Pacquiao is fighting for a higher cause other than the money. That plays a huge factor. Floyd Mayweather is not fighting for anything really other than his legacy, just his own legacy and the money, and that's It's not a higher cause. You
On,
mentioned Muhammad Ali in the beginning. Muhammad Ali fought for a much higher cause.
no doubt, Muhammad Ali fought for a totally different reason.
Yeah.
No,
And I think
for
when you
him,
have a solid foundation of
for him, money was just a consequence of the higher cause.
yeah,
You know?
it was just money for what he did. That was just
Exactly. That was a job.
Muhammad could not lose. Not he couldn't lose as a fighter, but he couldn't let the world that was counting on him down. He fought for a higher cause,
He did.
something that's intangible.
And he fought for his own good name.
Yeah,
He wanted the world to figure out, to get to know him, why he fought, why he
sure,
believed in himself.
sure. He stood
You
for
know,
his
he fought-
religion. He stood for his religion. He stood for his beliefs. He fought for the common man, the common
He,
everyday man. That's something higher than any boxing ring, any arena. Floyd Mayweather's not that type.
No, but on any fighter other than Floyd Mayweather, I would see that as a detriment. I would see that as a weakness. On Floyd, I don't see that as a weakness. I believe that's just the way the man is programmed.
Yeah.
That's just how he's wired. I think he sees them all hand in hand.
Yeah,
I think he sees the fight, the victory, and the money all go hand in hand. He says, "Hey, I'm the best fighter. I want to make the most money."
good point. Yeah, okay.
He's just a different kind of a person.
Yeah.
There's I hate to say it this way, but based on appearances only, we're talking about a man without a conscience. We're talking about a man who's all business and nothing else.
Yeah. No, I know what you're saying. No heart, no soul. I know what you're trying to say.
No heart, no soul. Exactly.
Yeah, I
It's
know
all
what you're
about the game.
Yeah. Okay.
It's all about money.
So, to recap, you are going with Floyd Mayweather
I'm going with Floyd Mayweather in 12
on a decision.
on a decision.
No knockout.
There may be a couple of knockdowns, but I sincerely doubt there will be a knockdown. There may be, but anything can happen in a fight. We got two guys who know how to punch,
Yeah.
so anything can happen. But I doubt, unless somebody walks into something, I doubt if there'll be a knockdown. I believe that it will go the distance, and there'll be a decision in the favor of Floyd Mayweather Jr.
Okay. Well, if anybody's going to walk into a punch, it would be Manny Pacquiao. But
Yes.
yeah, and if he comes straight ahead on him, yeah. But me personally, my prediction is this: Manny Pacquiao will win because he's the only fighter that stands the best chance out there of beating him. He's just as fast as Floyd Mayweather. I mean, he's about a punch or two, slower than him, but he's still the best fighter out there that can beat him. And remember what I told you: look for the
Watch the left.
left by Manny.
When he throws the right, you got to watch the left
Yeah,
by Manny.
yeah.
I hear you. I'll just caution you about one thing.
Yeah,
Just because he's the only fighter in the world who can beat him doesn't mean he will beat him.
it doesn't
That
mean that.
makes him better than all the others.
It's all on the psyche. Is he going to? Is he?
But in the next 2 years, I want to see my man Amir Khan come up through the ranks. I want to see him take a medal or two.
I don't think Mayweather will be around that long.
No, Amir Khan.
Yeah, I think he'll come up in the ranks.
Yeah,
You know,
I think he's got potential.
he's got potential. A little knock on him right now for his jaw. They say he's glass jawed and so forth, but only time will tell on that. He has to come back up a little bit. He has to make himself a little bit more, fight a little bit more on major events and be more on prime time. But sometimes the media and the public can get on a fighter if he gets knocked out, if he has a bad day or gets caught with a punch that just happens. That's the name of the game. So no knock on him. I think he's a good fighter.
He's a good fighter.
Yeah.
I'd like to see him come up.
Yeah, and he would be like the next Pacquiao in the sense of representing his country and so forth. So I understand exactly where you're coming from also in terms of that.
His father is a taxi driver from Pakistan who went to England looking for a new life for his family, and here's his son living the dream. I mean, who doesn't like that story, huh?
Yeah.
That's the story right there.
That's a storyline right there, actually, like you
Exactly.
said. Yeah.
That's the underdog. That's the kid that made it. That's the kid that came out of nowhere and made it.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And he's a clean cut kid.
He's a clean cut kid.
He's very well behaved. He recently, when they were, I think there was an earthquake in Pakistan. He went down there and he wanted to help out. He had never been back there, I think. That was the time when he chose to go back and just encourage people. And I thought that was class. I thought that was very well done.
Yeah.
And I think it was heartfelt. I don't think it was a media stunt on his part.
No, 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 no. I mean, for him to make an impact like uh, Manny Pacquiao or Mayweather, if he's going to be like a Mayweather, he has to play the villain. Obviously, Mayweather wouldn't be where he is today if he wasn't for if he didn't play the role of a villain all his life with his
No doubt.
yeah.
No doubt.
Pacquiao.
He's there's no one. I mean, I hate to say it, even his mother couldn't love him. He did that so bad.
You know what? But listen, man, he rubs his wealth in everyone's face, and the common man doesn't have that. The common man just doesn't have that type of money.
Yeah.
You know,
When he bought that Rolls Royce to drive his daughter to school.
yeah, yeah.
Be a man. You hear what Mike Tyson said. Be a
I
man.
heard
Take it to school yourself.
Yeah, I heard it. Yeah. Well, I heard him what he said. He said that he don't believe that Muhammad Ali or Sugar Ray Robinson are better than him. I heard it, and a lot of people are going to disagree with that.
So that's just dumb talk. But that's him living up to that persona of being the biggest villain in boxing.
Well, I think he got humbled when Layla Ali kind of got on the air and said that he was a little boy still, and Mike Tyson got on the air and said a couple of things. So I think he got kind of humbled, you know. So I think he backtracked very quietly with that. But okay, we got your fight prediction, and you're going with Mayweather. I'm going with Pacquiao. Remember that combination. Mayweather throws the right, Pacquiao's going to throw the left.
All right, and we'll text during the fight and see how it works out.
Yeah.
4 rounds. We both agree that the first 4 rounds, Mayweather's going to play it nice and easy. He's gonna be very wary, but round 5 or so, he's going to pick it up a little bit.
Right, and you have to watch out for the referee too. How active is this referee going to be in it? Is he going to allow them to fight, or is he going to be in the way?
I hope it turns out to be a good referee. We always talk about the boxers. You got to take your hat off to that great Mills Lane. That guy was a referee.
Oh, I loved him.
And Joe Cortez,
Joe Cortez, I loved him too. There was a lot of them.
Those 2 guys were amazing.
I also loved Richard Steele too.
Oh man, I hate that guy, Richard Steele.
I know.
Jeez.
Yeah, I know. A lot of people began to hate him at the end of his ref career, but I liked him. I thought he was a good referee for a lot of years. You know.
Maybe he was a good referee in the beginning, but I tell you, towards the end, his decisions, it's like, are you watching the same fight?
Yeah.
I mean, what the hell are you calling?
Yeah.
You know, didn't he stop a fight?
Yeah, he did. Julio Cesar Chavez and Medrick Taylor with like
5 seconds to go or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, come on, you stole it from the man. Stole it from the man.
You know, I saw that fight again. I saw it live, and in a way, I didn't blame him. I didn't blame him. Yeah, Meldrick Taylor is a great boxer, but he began to slug with Chavez, and he was taking some hard shots.
Yes, but we had only 5 seconds left in the fight, or something like that.
You're one punch away from death almost. He called it based on his conscience, and you can't blame a man for that. You can't blame a man for that. But the public wants to see that. The public wants to see the blood, and
there are other questions about that fight. But one of the most egregious decisions ever was, remember the Hawk from Cincinnati, Aaron Pryor?
Oh yeah, I loved Aaron.
And Alexis Arguello?
Yeah.
Man, you remember that decision?
He knocked him out both times. He knocked him out. There was no decision on that one. He knocked him. Actually, I saw that one on closed circuit.
Then who was it when Aaron Pryor was he was on the ropes?
Now you talking about?
Was there a third fight with Arguello?
No, there was only 2. He knocked him out in the 13th and once, and the second time in the 10th, I believe.
Who did Aaron Pryor fight when in the 15th he was on the ropes? He was winning the fight until the 15th round. He was on the ropes, and there was just a few seconds to go, and the referee stopped the fight.
With Aaron Pryor?
It was Aaron Pryor. He was robbed, yes.
I don't know. I mean, Aaron Pryor only lost once in his career.
Which fight was that?
Oh, man, I forget the name of his opponent, but, Aaron Pryor at that time was messed up with drugs and so forth and alcohol. He was not the same fighter nor the same person. It was towards the end of his career. But
I'm going to look it up.
Yeah, I figured you were.
Maybe I got backwards. Maybe Pryor was awarded the fight, and Pryor should have lost.
No, Pryor got knocked down in the first round in his loss. It was a 10-rounder, I think. And he did lose. He did lose one fight. Aaron Pryor was a great fighter.
Hang on, I'm going to look it up right now. It's bugging me.
And I did something else too. Aaron Pryor could have beat Floyd Mayweather.
I'm sorry?
Aaron Pryor could have beat Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah?
And Tommy Hearns could have beat him. Sugar Ray Leonard could have beat him. Roberto Duran could have beat him. Marvin Hagler could have beat him. He's just fighting around in an era where there's no really great fighters today, except Manny Pacquiao, who can, like I said, give him the defeat.
Sugar Ray Leonard, yes. And
Tommy Hearns would kill him.
Tommy Hearns, you think?
Man, as big as he was, listen, you talking about a 147-pounder.
He was 6 foot tall.
6 foot tall, 80-inch reach. He was the size of a heavyweight. He had the body of a heavyweight. He had the body of a heavyweight.
The bottle. No, with Arguello. Yeah, it was the bottle that was controversial. It was the bottle that was controversial.
Yeah.
Remember that?
No, not on the top of my head, no.
One of those two guys, I think it was Alexis Arguello, and when they brought him a bottle, the corner man says, "No, give me the other bottle."
So this is Sam the Fight Man telling you keep your hands up and your chin down. Till next time.
Peace and love, brother.
All right, peace and love, my man. We text tomorrow.
All right.
All righty.
Take care.
Thank
Bye.
you, my man. Bye-bye.